Hey guys, and welcome back to another video. Today we are going to be reacting and reviewing One Piece chapter 1024. I'm super excited. We got a lot of really awesome stuff in the last chapter. I'm just going to get right into it. Second floor. What happened to you guys? Is the color of Supreme is that the color of Supreme King Haki? Conquerors Haki. Ugh, I hate that translation. It's not your fault. You just don't have the willpower. Just stay conscious over my overwhelming presence. Does he have like some kind of like stinky thing? Because he doesn't have Conquerors Haki. I'm the man who eliminated 2 of the Tobiropo. They call me Usohachi, the sibling killer. What? 2 of them? Don't try to fight me. It's because Big Mom is fighting elsewhere on the floor. The ripples of her haki are knocking out the soldiers. Oh, okay. So it's like Big Mom's around. Her haki is kind of like going wild, and he's taking advantage. Oh, Usopp. Hey, what's going on with Luffy right now? Do you know, Frankie? Right brain, tower, skull dome. Nope, no clue. All I know is what Momonosuke said earlier. Momo should be with Shinobu, but I can't get in touch with her either. No news is good news. It means they're fine. That makes no sense. Anyway, if you're all done up there, come on down. For whatever reason, it seems like all the enemies are flooding into the performance floor. Run for it. Go down. Don't let them into the performance floor. That's where Zoro and Sanji are fighting the lead performers. Don't order me around, aye. You got Beppo and the other Heart Pirates. That's fun. It's cool that they're all converging. I like the idea that they're all converging towards the performance floor, so that when stuff really hits the fan, they're all gonna be there together. We're all equals in an alliance. Third floor. This is starting to look bad. We can't stop the flames. Evacuate the performance floor. I'm guessing I should feel hot right now. Well, too bad. I've already been cremated. Hey, who are you calling cremated? Wait, what? He called himself cremated. What? Oh man, his butt's on fire. Oh, Brook. Baron Corpse, you're all right? I had to get out of there. Robin was going to burn up. How is the battle going? It's hard to tell. Everything's pure chaos. This is kind of nuts. Everything's falling apart. Kid Pirates, 4th floor. Jinbei, come in, Jinbei. The 3rd floor is a sea of fire right about now. Make your way down while you can. Fire? That's bad news. But then, who is holding Kaido back further up? Performance floor, outside. More and more enemies are rushing out of the castle. Out of the way, samurai. This is our castle. We own this performance floor. Don't let them onto the floor. Man, so this is like a lot of crazy stuff is going on. Push them back. Ooh, man. Oh, we're gonna get some Yamato fights. Ooh, Narikabura arrow. Ooh. I'm looking forward to seeing some really awesome stuff with Yamato. I think he's great. Kaido doesn't look very phased. Vajra arrow. So they both have their own versions of the arrow technique. Have it's basically just a blast. Oh, Yamato looks great in the hybrid form. You have always intended to kill me. Yes, that's right. This is not a family squabble. If you want to wear the name of Odin, you must be ready for war. This isn't a game, Yamato. Is it a crime to admire someone? I love Odin. Kaido, the ogre princess, has been running wild for the past week. I am Odin. Undo my chains, father. Oh God. I am Odin, Kozuki Odin. His flashback is just Kaido just doesn't know what to do with Yamato. I am Odin. Tell me, Yamato, did you do this? I didn't. They just fell over. I'm so hungry. I think I'm gonna starve. Oh, Yamato, young Yamato, so cute. Give me some food. Conqueror's hockey, eh? A good sign. But Yamato, if you want to call yourself Odin, then die. Ah, stay in the cave until you see sense. I'll give you a month. What? A month? The poor kid really will die. Plus, we've got vicious samurai locked up in there. Ah, no, don't leave me in here in the dark. Oh, man, I have a feeling that the samurai wouldn't be too bad with Yamato, given that they both all they all admire Odin. This message goes for you swordsmen of Wano too. If you agreed to join my army, I'll let you go. You can shout through the vent in the ceiling if you change your mind. What? You haven't eaten for days? Then let's have some food brought in. But only enough for one. You'll need some weapons too. Oh jeez, Kaido's terrible. But father, I am the child of Kaido. They obviously bear a grudge against me. They'll kill me. But aren't you Odin? Oh, he's rough. This is rough. But I am Odin, but also the son of Kaido, his killer. I'm smart enough to know these samurai hate me. What? Do they look familiar? I don't know. They might just be random, but they got very distinct silhouettes. He wants them he wants them to fight to the death over that single meal, but not before they kill me first. Huh. Oh, they're gonna be nice. Eat. A samurai does not feel hunger. Huh? But I'm hungry. These samurai are amazing. They're not hungry? Eat up. You picked a hell of a family to get born into. Aw, that's so sweet. So I mean, that's the thing, right? So Kaido's like a monster, a literal monster. And then these samurai just like, listen, we're just living our lives. I mean, this is just a kid. Well, thank you. Saburai. Kamino's got his face all full. I will never forget the food as long as I live. Say, do you think I could be a samurai too? Even though I get hungry? That blade looks familiar. You are Kozuki Odin, are you not? I heard you say it. That man was beloved to us and to us all. You were friends? What is your name, Sir Samurai? Oh, hold on. I'm just gonna keep reading. What name does a fallen samurai need? Just call me so and so. I want to read this journal, but the words are too hard for me. Oh, is that Odin's voyage log? Oh man. So that's fun. Yamato found friends in like the jail cell. Well, it's been 10 days now. Yamato, it seems to me that your father might actually intend to let you die. At this rate, we won't be around to see this battle 20 years in the future that Odin speaks of. When that time comes, I'll fight on the side of Wano. I'll have gone to sea, and I'll be much, much, much stronger. Little tiny Yamato. Very cute. Oh God. Okay, hold on. That warms our hearts, and these guys are way too well designed to be like nobodies. These are like very specific characters. I just don't know if we've seen them before. That warms our hearts, and in turn, we will take part in that future battle by ensuring you do not die in this cave. You see, 20 years is too long for the likes of us to bear. Huh? But wait, my father will kill you. Better than wasting to death in here. We would never bend the knee to him anyway. Master Kaido, they broke open the sacred cave. I'm not alone. There are people who believe in me, people who accept me. Why do you steal my freedom? Why do you steal Wano's freedom? Because life isn't a series of simple questions with simple answers, you naive child. Thunder Bagua. So, okay. This was a little bit this wasn't like as bombastic, I think, as the last chapter, but this had some interesting stuff. So Usopp using Big Mom's Conquers Hockey in the background is kind of funny. I love that all of the characters are kind of converging. I figured we weren't going to see more of King and Queen versus Zoro and Sanji until maybe a little bit later. But everybody's kind of converging, and I like that. Like, there's probably going to be an awesome panel at some point with all of them again together and ready to fight Kaido in some form. I think the most interesting part of this chapter is those like there's like three of them maybe. Yeah, there are three samurai that are hanging out with Yamato in the cave, and we really only get good looks at two of them, but I'm pretty sure that one of them is Ushimaru. Now, it's hard to tell exactly because it's like he's covered in bandages and we don't get like a really, really good look at him. But he kind of looks like Zoro, even with like his hand and bandages over his face. And then Oda makes, I was about to call Oda Kaido. Oda makes a very specific choice not to show his face. We get a good panel of, I don't know if we've seen these guys before, but these are clearly the daimyo. I have a feeling that they're the daimyo anyways. But we get a very, very good close-up shot of two of them, and they have very distinct designs. But then the other guy is like further in the back, and we see his back, and it's got like this like design. It's like a ring with like swords kind of coming up, kind of like a pirate thing, honestly. And he's using two swords, so I have to imagine that these are the daimyo, and that like I think what we heard a story about the daimyo. I mean, we already knew that, but like they kind of talked about Ushimaru in the last chapter, and I would not be surprised if this leads just a hair into Zoro's backstory. Maybe they kind of zigzag back and forth between Yamato and Zoro, and like that the daimyo and everything. But it seems to me very obvious that like Oda made a very specific he made a very specific decision not to show the third samurai's like actual full appearance. And not only that, I don't know if it's like means anything at all, but when we do see him, the bandages go over one eye, and obviously like like Ryuma had one eye, Zoro has one eye, so I think that's like maybe some similarities and symbolism going on there. I don't know if like Ushimaru had one eye. I don't think he did. I think it was just like whatever. But maybe he got hurt in his eye, and that was kind of the thing. And that's like Zoro's family is destined to lose eyes. The Shimotskis are they're no good with their eyes. But the close up we see of him kind of looks like Zoro. It's hard to tell. It could really be anything. But it definitely looks it definitely kind of looks like Zoro. Also, okay. They were all left with their swords. Let's see. Hold on. Let me see this. They break Yamato's chains. Now, I'm not going to pretend like this sword that this samurai that we don't get a really clear look at doesn't look like Shusui a little bit. That being said, the guard is a little different. It's a black blade, so clearly he's imbued it with hockey. I don't know whether like I'm looking back at this, like Shusui's like guard kind of has more of like a frilly like pattern. It's got more bumps to it. It's not like that. Kind of looks like, but yeah, it looks a little different. It's hard to tell for sure, but it's definitely a black blade because it's got the same kind of thing that Shusui has. Granted, Shusui like. That's the thing. Shusui was stolen from. I forget how long ago was Shusui stolen from Wano. Okay, so Shusui was buried 23. Well, okay, it was buried hundreds of years prior, but it was robbed from Ryuma's grave 23 years prior to the main story. This would be less than that, right? Because it's like they're only waiting 20 years. So I don't know. Is Zoro going to get a second? I feel like by the end, Zoro's going to get 3 black blades. and that's gonna be like his thing. So he'll have Enma, which he'll probably turn black. I don't know, does he get Shusui back? Or does he turn the Wado Ichimonji into a Black Blade? And what he's got Kitetsu. Kitetsu. Either way, this sword is gonna come up. This sword, especially if this is Ushimaru, maybe I don't know. I mean, like maybe Zoro gives back Enma and then gets this sword instead. Would Oda bounce it back and forth between, oh, you can't have Shusui, but you can have Enma. Oh, you can't have Enma, but then you can have this other blade. Would he bounce it back and forth like that? I don't see Wado Ichimonji going anywhere unless something crazy happens and it breaks, and it's like something happens where the Wado breaks, which would be really messed up. It's my least favorite design sword, but it's got a very specific. It's from Kozaburo, I think, right? At the very least, it was handed down by Kozaburo's son to Zoro, which also, that might be a whole thing. They might be Koshiro might be his uncle or something like that. But I don't know if I see the Wado Ichimonji going anywhere. The Kitetsu, I feel like if he was going to replace the Kitetsu, it would be with another Kitetsu, or it would be something similar to that, which could be this. I think I'm just being thrown off by the guard here, because otherwise I'm positive this is going to be Ushimaru. And granted, why would Ushimaru have Shusui? Because especially since that was it was buried with Ryuma. But I'm pretty positive Zoro's going to get this sword, and it'll kind of come full circle. There's a reason why Oda didn't show us his face uncovered, right? So because he looks like Zoro, probably. I love the design of these guys. I think, you know what, we have seen these guys. I feel like I'm so bad at memorizing faces and names. I'm pretty sure I recognize this the little guy with the face paint on him. I don't know about the other guy, but either way, it's really cool. I hope that we get a good flashback of them fighting Kaido. We know that they get defeated. But I hope that we see them fighting. Also, I really love Yamato's backstory as a whole. I love that Yamato is obsessed with Odin. Obviously, we knew that much. But because of Yamato's obsession and admiration of Odin, he kind of he grew a bond with samurai that also did, and it's kind of fun. It's really cool to see the I love that switch, right? The entirety of the beginning of the chapter, or beginning of this flashback is oh, the samurai are gonna kill me. They have a grudge against me because I'm Kaido's son, or I'm related to Kaido and whatever. And we the first time we see them is shadowy figures, and they look evil and angry. Kaido leaves, and then the first thing they do is give Yamato the food and break the chains. So that's super cool. Honestly, No, because that doesn't make any sense in terms of that doesn't make any sense in terms of growth. I was gonna say oh, maybe the chains that Yamato has had up until now were from this cave, but your body grows a lot when you get older. So I don't think that unless they were really big chains and the cuffs were so big that Yamato's hands could pop out of them. I don't think that that's the case. Did we already know that Yamato had Conqueror's Haki? I'm not sure. I assumed, but I mean, I guess I never thought about it, but I'm pretty positive that it was talked about at least once before, maybe. So, we got some interesting stuff out of this. It wasn't quite as bombastic. I think maybe it didn't hit me quite as hard as last chapter and maybe the chapter before that. But we got some interesting things out of this. I'm really interested to see what happens after after those three samurai leave the cave. Clearly they are gonna die. But I think the fact that we don't see exactly who the one samurai is kind of is Oda being this is Ushimaru. I don't want to show you him in full yet because he looks exactly like Zoro. And maybe we'll get a little Zoro back story for this. Maybe he'll have a moment of saying oh, I might die here, but my son lives on in the East Blue. And as always, I really like seeing Yamato fighting Kaido. I think it's really cool. he's so small compared to Kaido. So, but he's so scrappy, and I love the idea that like he's talking about freedom. Yamato wants freedom, and that's Yamato's joining the crew. I'm sorry, Carrot fans, but Yamato's going to be the one to join the crew. All right, I'm going to wrap this up. There's not really a whole lot for me to talk about as far as like other stuff. Half the chapter is like, well, not half the chapter. Most of the chapter is about Yamato and Kaido. But the beginning part of the chapter is basically just everybody regrouping and kind of getting together. I'm interested to see more of Yamato fighting Kaido, and I want to hear, I think that their backstory will kind of have something to do with Zoro a little bit. Obviously not directly, but like, I think it'll have something to do with him. I'm pretty positive that's Uchimaru. Zoro, presumably Zoro's dad. They didn't outright say it. Because obviously, like, Kawamatsu doesn't know that for sure, but they were like, oh, Zoro looks exactly like Orochimaru. So that's what's gonna happen. I'm interested to see what happens after this. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. What are you anticipating is going to happen in the next chapter? I think we're not on break again yet, so we won't have to wait too long. I will see you guys in another video. So long.